You know, I've been sitting back, allowing myself to see what God actually showed me about someone's enemy. This message is not for everybody, but you are appreciated for entering a place of the unknown, never to be forgotten. But you know, I just like wow. I said so the Most High. So you got all these people, or this one particular person depends on who you have that you can recall or not recall as an enemy doing all this different magic. They are sacrificing tremendously their soul to one up you, to destroy you, to dismantle you, to mentally, emotionally mess with your mind and your health, if possible. I was told to relate this message because there's something you should know and need to know. And I know. You're like, well, what is the message? And you have a lot of questions of why this and why that. It takes a certain consciousness and a certain connection sometime. Not all the time, because the Most High don't share everything, or at least right then and there. How strategic and why the Most High don't miss his mark. It's not good news for your enemies or enemy, but it's good news for you. The Most High allow you to go through this suffering so that you can actually be able to be a testimony that there was no human being, respectfully being said, that was able to help you in your circumstances because you was always by yourself. You was isolated by yourself, by these demonic forces, by these witches and warlocks, and even your peers. That you may be seen to think that your peers are your friends, but I learned the thing about friendship. It's best to be acquaintance with people because people have things going on all the time, and they don't know how they're gonna treat you. They don't even know how they're gonna treat themselves. You don't know. They don't even know if they're gonna lose faith or they're gonna underlie themselves or underlie you or underlie others. That's being respectfully said. Hopefully, any of you guys don't do that or any of the people that you care about. I mean, that's just my perspective about friendship. I'm not telling you to go by that perspective. You have your own way, your own walk, your own destiny. Good morning, Grand Rising, everyone. Welcome, or little body Obi Sayin. If you like the content, please like, share, and follow and subscribe. I'm just going to be here for a little brief time, just a little message that the Most High want to be delivered. Some of you guys are aware of your enemies, and some are you not. Excuse me. Some of you are not, and some of you are aware of spiritual warfare, and some people are not. However, this platform is welcome all races from all walks of life, all backgrounds. We can learn something from everybody. We can learn something from each culture, which has limitless history and experiences. Every platform is not for everyone. So I do appreciate those who remain and those who come visit time to time and those who are consistent. Even the people who are lost are welcome. But moving forward to get to this and to get it out the way, um, the Most High revealed that your enemies are using demonic forces to disrupt your life. So if some of you observing others going through this, or even yourself, this information and message today is beneficial. And the reason why it's beneficial, it gives you the opportunity, just in case you go through it, just in case somebody you care about go through it, you'll know what to do. It's very profound that a lot of times people feel that something's not important until it's important. And then when it's important, they have no sense of direction or no clue how to be resolving whatever the circumstance may be. And I once upon a time been in that situation. Witchcraft was something that I didn't believe in. I didn't believe in it at all. Grew up in a Christianity background, rather forced or rather was accepted, conditioned, doctored, and um, I just didn't realize it was that real. I had a lot of trauma experiences that I could speak about, but also give praise to the Most High who gave me solutions. And I'm grateful for those individuals that in a human form was able to give me bits and pieces to the puzzle. That's what life is. It's a puzzle. You're trying to figure things out. We limit ourselves because we think other people don't know nothing. But if we just take the time out to listen, regardless of if it resonate right then and there, at least we have knowledge and insight of it versus none. I can see they trying to mess with my throat chakra where my voice, some of you may hear me, some of you may not. Hopefully you all hear me. Excuse me. But anyway, moving forward, there's a lot of people trying to figure out why you haven't um, got your spot. Your spot hasn't been taken, but why you not in the spotlight where you was called to be, where you signed a spiritual contract to come here to actually influence the world in a better direction versus the direction that it's in. Um, I've also been looking at few things. It's very, very um, extremely disappointing of some of the things that people have not seen. And I know every eye or eyes that are set for the human form isn't meant to see or hear. But with these demonic forces, people are struggling trying to get these things out their way. You have to study your enemy. Your enemy study you 24/7. When he or she or them, meaning a group like Coven, Coven, um, don't have time or restless of spending so much energy watching you. And there are many different ways they will hire other people to do this. If you ever heard of gang stalking, that's one of the ways. And then you have others who learn the craft itself and then they practice it and master it. And then it makes them feel empowered. It strokes their ego and allows them to start invading, disrespecting the universal laws, spiritual laws that they are fully aware of. And because they observe others to seem like they're getting away or going to get away with it, that inspires them to do the same thing. I don't advise people to take advice from occults. You know, they call themselves uh, the light barriers of light. And you got to remember, all light is not good light. I know it's kind of extremely um, comprehensive to understand where, what do you mean? Think about it. Let's just say you're in a car and The car has two sets. I'm gonna make it simple. Each set that it has is one a low beam and two a high beam. And of course, you can reverse the roles in a positive manner as well. And that this high beam has interfered of your eyesight, where it allows you now to crash or alter your destination because you no longer can see because you've been blinded. That's what I mean by that. Versus if he or she or whomever would be driving the vehicle had the proper lights, it would allow you to actually see better versus excuse me, versus you crashing out or having to pull over for safety. But some of you are collective, some of you are chosen. Grand Rising Harris, not you demanding me to speak, I spoke. You just not listening. I'm a straightforward person, so most people are not used to people who tell the truth, and they're not used to people who are straightforward. But moving forward, so getting to the rest of this is that there's some magic that's always being done. You have what God revealed to me is abandonment magic. You guys can take time out to look that up, and isolation magic. And now I'm gonna give you brief of it, but there's more detail if you want to look into it. I'm gonna use both of them as a combination versus to save time and also to blend them both together because they're not separated. So when you have these magic, the goal is to isolate you from everybody to make you feel isolated, make you feel discouraged, make you feel not connected to yourself or other people or your environment or the community. Have you have these self doubt thoughts about yourself or your surroundings, or more, you may be curious or you may be wondering why uh, people are not communicating with you or offering you offerings. Offerings mean opportunity, not an offering of sacrifice. They probably may be doing that as well, so be careful, mindful that that may be something to come up. And words wasn't mentioned the way that it wasn't mentioned or was mentioned, excuse me, for no reason. Um, however, um, you just have a lot of uh, 24/7 a day, y'all, just non-stop wanting to make that point about what's going to happen and what's not going to happen. Now, I got some good news, so y'all brace yourself for those who remain and those who take time out to come and re-listen to the video. Is that the Most High was like, I say, well, what you gonna do about it, and etc. And the Most High was like, well, I'm gonna let them continue to do what they're doing. But one thing I promise, at the end of the year, they won't be living. So the people who, and it's not good news like that, but it's a relief from you who actually been going through this for quite a while. A lot of people know your story, not in depth, but a little bit of it, versus you know all of it. And that, you know, at the end of the day, the Most High haven't forgotten you, most definitely love you unconditionally. And He allows these things just to show people that He is God and there is only one. And for some apparent reason, human beings feel like they are God. They feel like they are supposed to control other people's destinies or life or debate what they should have, what they shouldn't have. But in all reality, they don't even do that for themselves. They don't go hard for themselves 110 or beyond percent, but they go 110% or beyond to harm other people just to disrupt their life While in the meantime, they don't even have any knowledge of the person or anything besides spiritually violating the spiritual laws where they're going into against their free will without actually getting their consent to find out things about them. Now, what your enemies or their enemies don't understand is that God um, does the same thing they do as far as create tricks, uh, manipulate a situation, or may allow a situation to be realistically, it is the truth of their situation, but they keep not understanding the Most High is a magician self, the biggest and the greatest magician. That's why you see people give the Most High praise because of the miracles that happen in life, while other people choose not to give the praise to the Most High because they think it's too late. Who told you that besides yourself or the devil? It's never with you thinking that you've done so much wrong. Now, I know you here. Now I'm speaking to you. You think you've done so much wrong that you can't be forgiven, but maybe you may know that you can be forgiven, but you don't want to pay the consequences for all the harm and wrong you've done. But that's only fair to go through those things because of what you've done to somebody else that did not deserve to be harmed and hurt. And apparently, at this particular time, it's very obvious that when you trying to harm and hurt other people, they're not actually getting hurt. And why are people not getting hurt? Because one, God; two, their free will; three, they got people that love them; four, they got people who pray around the world 24/7 for you, me, and whoever else that you have met or have not met that are truly believers and have true faith and prayer and the actions of prayer, not only in their life, how they've been resurrected, but all the other people around them that went from something, excuse me, from nothing to something. Or I've seen a miracle in their eyes that happened where a person lost their life and it came back, or a certain disease or a certain tragic. People see these type of situations on news feeds all day, every day. This is confirmation of that truth. So nobody on this planet can't say unless they hear the Most High say, I'm not giving you no chance. You can't be forgiven. So forth, so on. Even big bro Yahshua, aka Jesus, spoke these things to people. But here's a story, short one. When you go in the Christianity book and you read the book of David, or you read the book of uh, Saul, aka Paul, you're gonna see that these people was assassins, real assassins. They killed. Let's start with Paul. Make it short. Paul killed Christians because they believed in God, and maybe there've been other underlining things that isn't or has not been written. And then you have King David, that was said, that was told by God to kill and slaughter many people, the children, and so forth. So on. I understand slaughtering the children because of vengeance and the blood of wickedness that runs through the bloodline. So a lot of people, it will go over their head not understanding that you will kill everybody, the women, the men, the elders, the children, and livestock, and so forth. So on. Everything is cursed. The magic is not working. The witchcraft is not working. Okay, a lot of people have not had witchcraft done to them, and there's a lot of people who don't know witchcraft is done to them. My personal perspective on a physical perspective and also a perspective of spiritual insight, everyone has had witchcraft done to their bloodline. That's why you see all this chaotic, crazy mess going on with ancestors also curse their own family by putting spells and doing all kind of wicked stuff. And man, the list goes on. I mean, any negative thing that you could think of on a planet, your ancestors did it to not only one another, but they also got it done to them or other relatives in your bloodline. That's how deep this is. This is not no fairy tale. This is not no, oh, okay, good to know that. Okay, it doesn't, I'm exempt from it. Nobody's on this planet is exempt. It doesn't matter what your pigment skin is, your race, whatever. All this stuff is made up. But it comes down to identifying the human form. And I mean, it's giving wisdom or insight of knowledge for us to actually be able to identify something. But this is not people's home. And people are very comfortable to the point where they're willing to do any and everything that's possible before they leave. When you don't even know when you're going to leave. Your goal is to go back home. But a lot of people are not going to make it home. Not that I want that to happen for them. I don't care if you did the worst thing to me. It's because they do not want to listen and they do not want to change. And people don't know nothing. When I say they don't know nothing, they don't know nothing about history. They don't know nothing about their patterns. They can't even see themselves in the mirror, literally, how much harm is being caused. They're creating very passive to. And fortunately, those who have children passing this right to their bloodline. I realized there was a lot of things that needed to change for me versus waiting till it's late like most people do. I had that mindset at one time. I'm just gonna wait, when I feel like it's almost over to ask God to forgive me for everything I've said and done to myself and other people. I'm just gonna be reckless out here and just do whatever it is I desire. Cause I got free will. I go to church or I believe in God. And God's gonna forgive me for those things. There's things that God showed me that, yeah, I forgive you, but that doesn't mean you're gonna make it to heaven. No, it didn't happen overnight. Did not happen overnight. And yes, you're still gonna be tempted. But I was willing to make changes and adjustments. I didn't realize that it was gonna make so many people jealous of me. I didn't realize it was gonna make so many people want to be in competition with me. I didn't realize that it was gonna attract so many witches and warlocks, people that's in high places, people who got way more than me, people who are not even satisfied what they got, versus they see me have very little or nothing, and I'm content and satisfied. That we have different perspectives when it comes down to this life. That I don't chase the things they chase, but I'm grateful for the things that they chase if it's meant for me to have. You know, fortunately, there is somebody that don't like me. Unknown and known. A lot of time when we can't fix ourselves, we tend to take it out on other people instead of go get the help and go through the progress or process, rather to say. It's a progress and it's a process, and it don't feel good. I know personally, but something had to change. My naysayers had a lot to say, and some of the things I did or was doing matched up to a degree. They didn't know all the details, so they was off a lot. Say 90% off and 1 to 10% little accurate. And the reason why I say that because they thought or they think to this day they know it alls. They know everything. They don't know anything. They don't know shit. It seems like I'm the smartest person in the bloodline. Now, when it comes down to education and stuff like that, there are a lot of educated, intelligent relatives. But when it comes down to spirituality, connecting with the Most High, or knowing about angels, demons, entities, and all kinds of other different forces and situations, They're aware of it, but they don't know how to alter it. And alter it means just change. They allow it to change them. And it can be very dangerous for them and whomever that are surrounded by them or individual. But not Rip God is crazy. Here's the thing, man, it's gonna get this on out the way. But because the person or the people who won't stop doing all this spell work, and I don't even think they can reverse any of it, so they may try to do that. I've just shown these little small details that they're gonna start seeing the work that they done to you is gonna start trembling in their life if they're not already seeing it. The next thing they're gonna see is that everything is gonna start falling down. God showed me a vision where they're speaking or talking to people and nobody don't hear them because they don't want nobody to hear you. Gonna give them the same treatment. And them death spells, he's gonna give them their death a lot sooner than they expected. So a lot of these people, if not all of them, this will be their last year living on this planet because they will not leave you alone. So many people got kids. So many people got other people that care about us. So many people got unfinished spiritual and physical business that they didn't finish because they were too busy focusing on you, where they should have never been focused on you, where also they should have never been being in your business. There's a lot of opportunities myself that I messed up in the past that I really realized and I had to accept having tantrums, getting angry, or begging, or going back to the past wasn't going to change the opportunity that I fucked up. Fucked it up. And I had to learn to accept that. And so learning that lesson, because this is what all this stuff is, majority of it, learning that lesson allowed me to be able to grow and to be wise as much as possible when it come down to meeting people and how to treat them or and so forth so on. So I didn't get to where I'm at overnight, but I was willing not to quit. I was willing to take accountability. I could remember when I didn't take accountability. Like what? No, it's your fault. I don't have no fault. What you talking about? I'm perfecting. I'm a perfectionist. Yeah, I'm that. I was that. The door's still open. It doesn't change because some people looking from the outside looking in think you don't. When you get to a certain level that shit stop. No, it don't. The devil energy, the devil, the demonic forces, people who will become your enemy are still out there waiting for you if you make it or when you make it. And you're gonna repeat the same cycle over and over and over and over till it's gonna be exhausting. You're just like, man, I just wish I can go back, or I just wish I just, you know, well, if you've already been doing the Most High's will, there's no need to wish any of that. No, you say why? because you end up getting saved from a lot of situations that the Most High could have just let you dealt with. And then on top of that, saving you from a lot of same situations, if not worse, that you can deal with or or be dealt with. So I don't wish to go back to the past. When you're dealing with the past, it's very confusing. It's very frustrating. You have a lot of different type of emotions, and you're trying to figure out like what's going on. God nurtures like a baby. God really takes his time with us because if he forced you to eat food while you are a baby, no matter how much you think you know, how much you think you learned, you're gonna find yourself understanding that you end up dealing with some hardcore consequences because you thought you knew everything. Or you can find yourself putting yourself in a situation where that you end up transformed out of the physical body back into your spiritual body and like, whoa, what happened? Why am I here? Of that one mistake and or that impulsive action. You know, it's always wise to think before you speak. It's always wise to think before you react. And most of the occasion, you want to master that to the best of your ability. It's gonna be different for everyone, but either way it go, you have an opportunity of a lifetime that many people don't even have anyone to even talk to them about anything that I'm speaking about. There's a lot of people who pretend to have a conversation because there's something that they're interested in, so they'll have that conversation. But when we talk about the depths of internal things that you either have no clue about or you've experienced, your friends, relatives, associates, co-workers, strangers even maybe, will tell you to get over it. They will tell you everything's gonna be okay. They will tell you why you keep talking about this same old stuff or this stuff. As you can see, they don't even have a solution for you. They don't even care. You already know everything is gonna be okay. At least you know or don't know. You already know that you need to express this because it's hurting you inside. And you're just trying to learn how to deal with the pain. You're trying to learn how to grow from the pain. A lot of people don't even know they can grow from the pain. You're trying to get rid of it. The only way you can get rid of pain is you have to forgive yourself and forgive whatever it is that you feel upset or angry about. Now, you could do the opposite from what I said, but to be honest with you, because that's all my intentions is, you're going to see not because I say it, you're going to receive the results of no change. Then it's going to get worse and worse and worse. If you don't already have a demonic spirit controlling your mind and your body, you're going to invite it in to control your mind and your body. And at that point, either people who care enough about you will get it cast out, or at another point, people will recognize that there's a demon or there's something. And most people say there's something wrong with him or her. They don't have the solution. Well, we're just gonna pray. Prayer takes action. You gotta take action in prayer. That's like if I pray for having a car, then that means I need to take steps to actually put the money together to get a car. Can't just pray for things and not take no action. When you don't know something, You need to talk to God. You need to fast. You get around people that's wise. So maybe that God may speak to them since you're blocking yourself or not knowing that you're blocking yourself from the communication of God communicating with you or your guardian angels or your spiritual team. It allow you to be able to get that information, aka message. But yeah, that's what's to come. I don't have any emotions about it, like a positive or a negative. It has really nothing to do with me. I just try to do my best to make it my business, to mind my business. But until then, all of the body will be Saeed.